Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the arts community shares their thoughts on a proposed budget that would eliminate the National Endowment. And as Police Week continues, folks gather to speak on the courage and sacrifice of officers lost in the line of duty at a candlelight vigil in D.C.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and a happy Thursday to you, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this May 15th. It's just about 5 o'clock this morning. And Megan, I've got to say, I did not see much fog this morning. I really didn't. Maybe it's because I just was distracted by singing in the car, but there was no fog for me.
Yeah, we honestly have been a lot calmer. It's because we didn't see as much rain yesterday, and that trend will kind of continue into your Thursday, looking at only slight chances throughout the day. But as we head into Friday, that's when things really start to change, right? Here's a look at satellite and radar, just looking at a little bit of rain as you're traveling into our West Virginia counties, but for the most part, nice and dry. Current temperatures this morning aren't bad either. We're starting off very warm in the 60s, even seeing 70 degrees in Somerset, 73 in Monticello. Normally this time of year, we're sitting in the mid 50s. High temperatures for the day are also warmer than average. Normally we sit in the mid 70s. Today, mid to upper 80s. We have a chance of breaking some record heat today, especially for Jackson, so we're keeping our eye on that as we're going through the next couple of hours. And speaking of, we'll hit that high temperature as we're heading into that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock mark, cooling down just a little bit overnight with low temperatures in the 70s. Amelia.
A Madison County judge ruled there is enough evidence in the case against 6 of 9 defendants in a daycare child abuse investigation to send it on to the grand jury. Yesterday, Detective Tyler Short with the Richmond Police Department testified about his findings in an ongoing child abuse investigation at 2 Richmond daycares. He detailed multiple cases against 6 defendants who were either owners or employees of a Step Ahead and Kids Club childcare.
We don't know what the long-term psychological effects could be on these small children at such a young age. If they had done their job and made the report after that very first incident, I think it's very unlikely that any of the other acts of criminal abuse would have happened.
And we do have more details about each of the defendants in this case on WYMT.com. As of yesterday, only one of the 6 suspects is still behind bars. President Donald Trump shared a proposed budget that would look to eliminate the National Endowment for the Arts. Some arts organizations in Kentucky were already told that their grants were rejected or rescinded. Jessica Umbro spoke with members of Kentucky's arts community about their thoughts on this move and what they're calling on the public to do to help keep that funding in place.
Arts are not a bipartisan issue. They're a consensus value.
Dr. Leanne Potter is the communications director for the Kentucky Arts Council. She says there are 2 things happening in Washington, D.C. One, that the National Endowment for the Arts grants are being canceled across Kentucky, and 2, the White House budget proposal eliminates the National Endowment for the Arts, or the NEA. The decision isn't final.
Anyone who's watched a budget process knows that this is just the first step. This has been proposed before, and it's going to be a while before we come to a final budget.
Dr. Potter says the Kentucky Arts Council hasn't had their grants impacted, but LexArts Vice President Nathan Zamaron says the group has already seen the impacts of the proposed cuts. He says the group has gotten 3 notices of termination from federal NEA grants.
There are many reasons why the arts are important to our communities, and having these institutions in place helps us to illustrate and support that.
Zamaron says it's not the first time they've seen the possibility of the NEA experiencing cuts. He says a way to help prevent the cuts is to speak out.
It is very important for individuals, if the arts are important to you, and we believe that it's a crucial part of our culture and society, that you reach out to your legislator to let them know that it is important to you as well.
Jessica Umbro, WKYT.
One way that both groups say you can help support the arts community at this time of uncertainty is participating in events like going to see a show or visiting your local artists and art organizations. As we told you yesterday, a Knott County native who lives in Lexington announced her run for Kentucky's 6th congressional district. This comes after Congressman Andy Barr put in his bid to run for United States Senator Mitch McConnell's seat next year. Sherilyn Stevenson spoke with WYMT about her Eastern Kentucky roots.
Coming from Knott County, being raised by a teacher and a coal miner, I know those values, and I know the hard work that it takes to make it in a small town here. So I also know the worries that a lot of small town folks have.
Southeast Kentucky Community and Technical College named a new president yesterday. Dr. Andrea Lee Harrison currently serves as the college's chief advancement officer and has a 25-year career in higher education administration. She'll start in her new role on July 1st. Students attending Eastern Kentucky University will have to pay more if they take more than 15 credit hours per semester. The EKU Board of Regents approved the change to the university's undergraduate tuition model. Previously, full-time students did not have to pay extra unless they took more than 18 credit hours per semester. The updated model will go into effect this fall. A bridge in Pulaski County opens back up today. The Fishing Creek Bridge in Somerset first closed in October. Crews worked to replace parts of that bridge's deck and repair beams to increase its lifespan. The project cost more than $8.5 million to complete. KYTC says the bridge will be open to traffic early this afternoon. 22 more names will be added to the Kentucky National Guard Memorial in Frankfort. It brings the total number of men and women who died in the line of duty since 1912 to 317 soldiers and airmen. Of the new names, 14 died during World War I and 6 died during the post-9/11 era of a service-related illness while serving on active duty. The Kentucky National Guard's annual Memorial Day observance is happening May 26th at 10 o'clock at that memorial. Law enforcement from Somerset and Pulaski County gathered to honor 6 officers killed in the line of duty. That ceremony took place Wednesday morning at Somerset Cemetery, where 3 fallen officers from the Somerset Police Department and 3 from the Sheriff's Office are buried. The memorial is part of National Police Week. For some, the memories remain painfully fresh.
You always learn things about people that they interacted with and people they helped that you didn't know existed.
A separate service is scheduled in Burnside this Saturday at Cole Park to honor officers from that community. Fallen officers were also recognized with a candlelight vigil in Washington, D.C. Tuesday night, with officials speaking of the courage officers have and the ultimate sacrifice some make in the line of duty. For 2025, 345 names were added to the National Law Enforcement Memorial.
One officer lost is one too many. And that means ensuring that they have the resources that they need to apprehend dangerous criminals, keep officers safe, and we need to increase retention and recruitment of police officers.
Since 1962, May 15th has been the official National Peace Officers Day. Governor Andy Beshear ordered flags to be lowered to half-staff in observance of Peace Officers Memorial Day. The flags will be lowered today at all state office buildings. The governor asked folks to take time out of their day to let those who serve and protect know how much they're appreciated. It's 5:08, and thank you for getting your day started with us on Mountain News this morning. The Supreme Court prepares to hear a case that could have lasting effects on how federal judges can influence national politics.
And we are tracking strong to severe storms tomorrow. I'll have the timing after the break.